Good evening. I actually just filmed a whole video checking in, but it was like over half an hour, and I just feel I want these to be more concise so that I can actually watch them back and people can take it in. I don't think anyone's going to watch a whole half an hour video. I certainly don't want to. So I'm doing this again. I've literally just spoken about this, so I hope that this time I can do it a little bit more concise. So anyway, this is week 4 check-in. I am a week late because I took a week off last week. I basically failed one of the tasks of this week and I didn't want to give in to the fail. I was like, let me do this again. There's nothing wrong with taking a week off and just restarting it. So hence the week delay in the video upload. But week 4 was titled Recovering a Sense of Integrity. It says, this week may find you grappling with changing self-definition. Let's try that again. I'm so tired, by the way. I've literally worked 7 days this week. I've done 5 double shifts. I've worked 5 days in the restaurant. My mind, I don't know where she is, but I'm trying to grab her back so I can do this real quick. Anyway, this week says, this week may find you grappling with changing self-definition. The essays, tasks, and exercises are designed to catapult you into productive introspection and integration of new self-awareness. This may both be very difficult and extremely exciting for you. Warning, do not skip the tool of reading deprivation. This line was the reason I had to go back and do this week again, because I felt that I couldn't move forward if I didn't really try. So let's start off with reading deprivation, which I would say is the main takeaway from this week. It kind of is self-explanatory, but this book was written, I believe, 35 years ago, maybe it was, I think it was 1990, yeah. So the reading deprivation that Julia talks about is all about consuming media. Obviously back then social media was not around at all, didn't exist. So I took it, and how people nowadays who are doing this book are taking this is it's social media deprivation, i.e. no social media. And that was the reason that I failed, because that was a very scary thing to me. And my brain a couple of weeks ago said, well, you know, I need Instagram and I need TikTok for music, and I need to be posting, I need to stay relevant. And it's just simply not the case. And that is what having this week trying it out has taught me. And just filming this self-reflection a second ago, I've just been thinking about how I actually put so much validation onto my posts. And if my posts do not do well, that's how I measure my success, which is so twisted and it's so backwards. And this is one of the great things that I've taken away from doing social media deprivation. So I tried to do it on Monday this week. I tried to do it on Tuesday and I failed. I did not do it and I failed, but it got to Wednesday. It's now Sunday. It got to Wednesday and I said, Sammy, you need to do this. You need to at least try. So I set app limits on my phone, and I basically just couldn't click on them. It's when you try and click on it, it says that you can't access it, whatever. And it was perfect. I actually first of all said to myself, let me not do it for half a day. Then I got to half a day and I was like, I don't need to be on this, because I think where I work from home, it's very easy for me if I get a message of whatever kind. Look at the time. Anyway, I just love that. Anyway, right, if I get a message, I'll open my phone, and then somehow I'm on TikTok, and somehow my thumb is just doing this motion. And it's insane. It's so fucked. It's so fucked up. This whole world that I live in on my phone is so scary. And I cannot tell you how free I feel from not being on social media. Now, I didn't go on Instagram and I didn't go on TikTok. I haven't scrolled on either of the apps since Wednesday, so it's been 5 days. I know it's not long at all, but that's such a big accomplishment for me. I've never in my life since I've been 13 and on these apps had a day off had a day off social media, which is just, I don't like that. I've just said that out loud, but it's just the truth. So what I'm saying that to say I feel so free. I feel so free. And I did go on Instagram on my laptop twice because I simply just went on my messages. I didn't scroll, I didn't open anyone's story, nothing. But I do have some contacts in the music industry that's the way that we communicate, and I feel like I don't want to completely isolate myself from that because I don't know, I'm not trying to jeopardize any opportunities. So I did go on it for that. I did click on TikTok twice. Again, I'm annoyed at myself for doing it, but I did. Again, I didn't scroll and I didn't engage in anything. I think I was just like, oh, let me see how many, I don't know. I don't know why I did it. Why did I do that? Maybe to see how many notifications I had. And that literally gave me no fulfillment. So that was just dumb. But I did it, and I'm just being honest about that. Anyway, when I just filmed this a second ago, I actually deleted Instagram off my phone, so it's no longer there at all. I don't need Instagram on my phone because when I need to check messages, I can go on my laptop. I haven't deleted TikTok only because I have drafts. This is really annoying, but I have drafts on my TikTok for my music. If I delete the app, they're all going to get deleted, and I don't really want to lose them because I've made them on the app. So it's dumb and it's annoying, but I'm not going on TikTok. I have no reason to go on TikTok because I don't have messages on there with people and I haven't posted anything. So is what it is. Anyway, that was the main... I feel like I'm speaking really fast. Let me calm down. That was the main takeaway from this week. And it has been fucking amazing. If I wasn't in the music industry and trying to pursue this life, trust me, I would not be on these apps. I actually hate them. I really hate them. Hate's a very strong word. I think they're amazing, but I had an addiction and it's something that I need to work on. And saying that out loud is just me being really honest. I definitely have an addiction. We're combating it. I'm in the process of sorting out that addiction, and it's been great. And I haven't felt like, I'm not like, oh my god, I need to be on social media. It's more the motion of me picking up my phone and I'm on the app and I'm like, oh, how did I get here? And it never makes me feel good. Always, if I'm in a doom scroll, which honestly was every day at a certain point, often first thing in the morning, and every single time I would open an app first thing in the morning, I'd be like, you've just started the day off wrong. It's just, and it wouldn't ruin my day, but I was like, why have you done that? But it's like I couldn't help myself. It's literally, this is like why I say it's an addiction, because it was. Anyway, that was just the best part of this week. Let me just talk about the other part of this week, which was about being honest with yourself. Honest changes. I just wrote some notes down that I wanted to say. It was about examining your authenticity. It was learning to distinguish between your real thoughts and those shaped by societal or external pressures. And honestly, that goes back into the media, social media, and when I'm posting, because I feel like I need to be doing it for a certain reaction or a certain audience. And this all ties into what Rick Rubin teaches, which I'm reading The Creative Act again, it's right here. Rick Rubin says, I don't know his exact quote, but it's basically, he teaches that you should create for yourself, not for anybody else. External validation, nothing, because then it's not authentic. It's like when people go to studio sessions, they're like, right, let's make the next big hit and let's see what's trending and whatever. Like, I don't want to ever do that. I don't want to ever do that again. Haven't really ever been in a situation where I've had a team be like, let's make this song, but I really don't want to ever do that because it's so fake and I don't align with that. So yeah, that was kind of something that was really interesting, and some things that Julia said here. She said that if you want to work on your art, work on your life. Period. In order to have self-expression, we must first have a self to express. And this is exactly what this book is teaching me. Like, I am doing so much inner work, more than I ever have before. I've been on this healing journey for years, but I have never ever sat with myself as much as I have in these last 4 weeks. And it's simply about waking up every morning and getting my thoughts onto paper. You learn so much about yourself at the most rapid speed I cannot even explain. And yeah, she said that the process of identifying a self inevitably involves loss as well as gain. And I do feel like I'm this little onion that's just peeling layers away, and I'm also peeling away these bad habits like social media and negative talk and self-doubt. I feel like I'm eradicating all of it, and every single check-in that I do, I just feel more and more sure of myself and calm within myself and trusting in this whole matrix. And it's just the most comforting feeling I can't even explain. Just a couple more things that she said. What did she say? What did I want to talk about? She made this scenario. She said, be prepared for bursts of tears and of laughter, which have been happening to me. I have had these surges of emotions come out all of the times they've been when I've been in nature, because I've been going on a lot of walks. And it says a certain giddiness may accompany certain stabs of loss. Think of yourself as an accident victim walking away from the crash. Your old life has been crashed and burned. Your new life isn't apparent yet. You may feel yourself to be temporarily without a vehicle, but you have to just keep walking. And she talks about how a lot of people who go through this process of this book say that nothing dramatic is happening to me yet. I don't trust this process, and then inevitably they abort it. And she says this is a form of denial that can tempt us to abort the recovery process that isn't happening, but it is. There will be a change in energy patterns. Your dreams will become stronger and clearer both by day and by night. And I don't want to say that I'm getting visions, but my dreams have become so strong, and I've woken up with so much energy. Like, honestly, I don't know how I've got through this work week. Like, I work like a dog. I don't even know how many hours I've done. I don't want to think about how many hours I've done. I've spent my whole week at work. I don't know if I already said this in this video. Apologies if I'm repeating myself, but I did 5 doubles. I did 5 days where I worked from 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. Like, that's so abnormal for a human being. I haven't had much sleep, but every single day I felt more energized than I normally do on 8-9 hours sleep, which is so bizarre. But it's like when I'm asleep, I'm getting like, I don't know, it's really hard for me to explain. I haven't really sat with myself and thought about it yet, so maybe I need to do that. But I've just been having lots of waves throughout the day of feelings of just like energy. I don't know how to put it into words. I need to find this someday. But anyway, whatever she was saying, I'm getting and I'm feeling it. So yeah. Just real quick, I need to wrap this video up. But some of the tasks this week that I found so great. 2 of them were to talk about, I had to write essays. One of myself at 80 years old talking to my current self at 25, which was like so interesting, because although I have so many goals for my life and I plan it out, I never look past maybe the next 5 years. I'm kind of just focusing on the next year right now. And I never think about me being at 80. I had to think, well, I have kids and I have grandkids, and you know, I achieved this and that. Like, I can't even fathom that. I'm looking at right now, to be honest. I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the present moment. This is what I'm focused on. But yeah, it was really interesting to look that far ahead. So that was really, really cool to write letters to myself. And the whole thing was, you just don't know how good it's about to get. You just don't know how good life is about to get for you. And it goes back to the saying that has stayed with me throughout doing this book. And it was in the first introduction of this book that Julia says, leap and the net will appear. And it's just exactly that. It's just what I said to myself when I was writing this letter is just leap and don't think about anything else, because it's all going to fall into place. So that was really cool. And then the second one was to write a letter to my current self at 25, aged 8 years old. And that was more emotional, because I was writing how I would write as a child, because I had so many journals and diaries as a kid, and I actually always used to title them Elise. I don't know why. I like had this persona where my name was Elise, and it was like I was like this person, and I felt like that was me now. And it's just so crazy. I was like, damn, I kind of like, back then I knew. It's like when I don't know how to explain this. I feel like I sound crazy. When I was 8 years old, I was writing to me. Like I knew that I'd be like writing back to her and like healing her through this process. And it was just not something that I'd thought about up until this point, and that was just super cool. And I was just thinking about how I was writing like, these are my best friends, because that's how I used to always, that's what I would put in my journals when I was a kid. And it made me realize how many people have just come into my life, even in the last 3 years. The most special people, not the most, obviously I have my old friends who are like my dearest, bestest friends, but so many special human beings have come into my life in the last 3 years, even more recently, just special energies that have been coming in, that as I was writing this, I was like, oh my god, she had like just no idea. She had no idea how good life is about to get. And that made me think about me writing to myself at 80 to myself now, and it's just the same process. It's like a conveyor belt of just greatness. Like life is about to get so fucking good. I can't imagine. I don't know. I'm just trusting and I know it's gonna happen, but I don't know what's gonna happen. Anyway, that was the task. That was kind of most of it. I also had to write an artist prayer. I don't think I'm going to share it because it's just like personal to me, but I've been reading it every day and it's been very grounding and very special. So yeah, I did my morning pages every day. I love them. I'm very much in the routine of them. My artist date was, I went to a production session again, and I'm really trying to, that was my only night off the restaurant this week. And yeah, I took myself to a production session, which was really good, and I'm very grateful that I had that time within such a hectic, busy work week. It also said, did you experience any synchronicity this week? Excuse me. I did. I made a post on Instagram. I think maybe it was on Sunday last week, or maybe it was Monday, I can't remember. And I hadn't posted on Instagram in like 6 months, because I actually hate Instagram. But anyway, I made this post. I was like, let me try and be relevant for a second, and just like posted some recent dance videos and some clips from production sessions. And this was just like random, but there is a producer from Canada that we've been like in contact over Instagram for 3 years. 3 years. It was like before I started releasing music. He found me super randomly, and we've always like gone back and forth of, I've sent him demos and stuff, and then he just got crazy. Like he's won Grammys, like as credits. He's worked with John Legend, Chris Brown. He's crazy talented, like amazing. And along the line, like he unfollowed me on Instagram, and I was like, that is so fair, because I'm nobody and you are huge. I never took it personally. I was like, it's fine. But I had this demo that I recorded for him last year, and literally last minute, I had this draft in my Instagram for a long time, weeks, maybe a couple months, because I wanted to post, but I didn't want to post anyway. And literally just before I pressed post, I was like, let me just like, I was like, this guy doesn't even follow me anymore. We haven't spoken in almost a year. But let me put this in the swipe and I'll just tag him. And I was like, it kind of makes me feel embarrassed. This isn't even anything. This isn't anything. But let me just do it. Anyway, the guy just follows me back immediately, comments and texts me. He hits me up. He's like, dude, how have you been? He was like, what's good? He was like, yeah. And I just thought, that was something that I felt just spoke to me, like told me to do this, because where I'm going to LA in summer, I know that I'll have the opportunity to work with him finally in person, and it's going to be super special. And I feel like if I didn't post that and tag him, then that encounter wouldn't have happened. So it's just small things like that which have happened. And even last night at the restaurant, I find that where I work these jobs, it's very easy for me to lose my sense of self, and I have to really remind myself, like, I am an artist and this is what I do when I spend most of my time at work, and I'm either an office administrator when I'm working from home, or I'm a waitress, and I very much conform to that mindset. And I have to like remind myself of who I am. Anyway, I was at work last night. It was so busy. I was like, run off my feet. And this girl just stops me and she was like, hey, are you a singer? And I was like, yeah. And she said that she followed me on Instagram and she found me on TikTok and she's listened to my music and she loved it and that she's a producer and she would love to work, and that the interaction was just so wholesome, and it was I was so grateful for it, and I hugged her and I just said thank you so much, like message me and we'll get it in, and I would really love to work with her. She was super sweet. But what I took away from that was a message from the universe, like that this was my 4th day in a row of working in the restaurant, and she caught me in a time where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing here? I was just like, I do love my job, but sometimes there's just times where I'm like, rude people, and I'm like, I don't, like, I'm made for so much more than this. Like, what the fuck am I doing, like, cleaning up sick? It was like that part of the shift where I was like, nah, like, okay. And it was like an angel just came to me, and it was like, remember who you are. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what the encounter felt like. And I literally just like walked away, and I just took myself in a room by myself, and I was just like, thank you, Lord. Thank you for reminding me who the fuck I am. And then I just went back to my job and it was fine, and I played waitress and it was all good. But yeah, that was a synchronicity that I pondered on and I showed my gratitude towards. Anyway, this video is again 21 minutes long. My god, I could speak forever about this stuff. But this was my week 4 check-in. I am so happy with how this week went, and I'm just grateful for another day of life. I'm grateful for candles, I'm grateful for incense, I'm grateful for my cup of tea, I'm grateful for my body. I'm feeling very energized for a girl who has had not enough sleep. Anyway, I'm about to go to sleep. It's another week, and I'm excited for week 5. Oh, should we read what week 5 is? Can I speak? Week 5, recovering a sense of possibility. I'm here for it. I'm ready. Let's get it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.